Hey guys, I'm Lynnie with Sunflower Spirit Tarot, and I'm here with a general message. So whatever I see is what I'm going to read, and we're going to jump straight into it. Guardian angels, spirit guides, benevolent ancestors, those that come to us in and through unconditional love only. What messages do you have for the collective at this time? What do they need to know, see, and be aware of for their best and highest good, to be their most loving and authentic selves? The most important message for the collective at this time. I hope you guys have been well. I have been well. All right. I think I'm going to start doing daily uploads, so you know. And this is not going to be a zodiac specific reading, but I will tag any prominent zodiac signs in the description box below if you need that kind of confirmation. All right. Let's do a couple more and then I'll get started. And yeah, one more. Okay, at the bottom of the deck, the Two of Pentacles. If it becomes relevant, I will bring it up again. If not, I'm going to leave it right there. I saw the Page of Cups as the first card out. Judgment. Ooh, Page of Pentacles. Ooh, interesting, interesting, interesting. I see two people going their own way. And another page, Page of Swords. There might be a lot of people involved in this or a lot of communication. All four pages. Are you kidding me? Page of Cups, Pentacles, Swords, and Wands. That is so interesting to me. I don't know what the significance of that is. But potentially a lot of people involved or a lot of communication. Oh, okay. That was the Emperor. He fell right into my lap. Ooh, no, I'm just kidding. All right, one more. One more for my sunflowers. And the Four of Pentacles. Overall energy, the Hermit, which is interesting because we have so much communication here that your overall energy would be the Hermit. That's Virgo energy, okay? You don't have to have that in your chart, but it's just significant energy here, as well as the Emperor and the Fool at the bottom of the deck here. The Hermit. Why is the Hermit the overall energy? Why is the Hermit the overall energy? All this communication, and yet you're coming up as the Hermit. You ain't talking to nobody. You don't want to talk to nobody. You got a lot of people in your business or in your circle, and you're just like, not today. Devil at the bottom of the deck. Capricorn energy. We also have Temperance, which could be Sagittarian energy. So those are the significant signs for this reading already, because we have these major arcana, as well as Scorpio with the Judgment card here. Okay. I'm going to read this like a story because that's how I'm seeing it. It's kind of coming out to me past, present, potential, outcome, future type energy. So that's what I'm going to read. Okay. There was a time in your life where you were connected to somebody. They could be an earth sign. They could be a water sign, right? There was a time in your life where you were connected to someone, okay? And you called it quits for whatever reason. I feel like one or both of you were non-committal, okay? I feel like what happened in the situation is that you left it very open, or there wasn't a lot of like this is what we are. This is, we're going to be in this relationship. And I feel like that is something, I don't know, and it could be even a friendship as well. This could represent a friendship, but this is definitely about somebody from your past, okay? I'm going to just put that out there. I know y'all hate these readings about people from the past, but I'm going to just put that out there. This is definitely about somebody from your past, okay? You were connected to somebody, potentially a water sign or an earth sign if you're not either of those signs, okay? This is somebody that you were close to, but there was never any kind of defined relationship between you two, okay? Y'all could have been in the same social circle if this was just a friendship group, and y'all had a connection, but maybe y'all met through somebody else. That's kind of what I'm feeling for those of you that this is not romantic. It could also apply if it was romantic, but specifically if it was not romantic. Maybe you guys had a common friend, and that common friend probably wouldn't have liked it if you guys would have hung out on your own, like just you guys together, because y'all would have been best friends. That's what I'm getting right now. There is a potential for you and this person to have become very, very close, okay? Also, the same thing with the romantic situation. Maybe you met this person in middle school, high school. It could be something as innocent as that. Like you dated them in high school, you guys went to different colleges, and you kind of just went your own way. Even if it's 10 years, 15, 20, 30 years later, this is what I'm seeing. There was a time in your past where you were connected to somebody that you had the potential to be very, very close to, but there was some reason why you guys could not solidify that connection, okay? There was something in between you guys that made you feel as if it would be wrong or bad or somehow taboo. Maybe if this was a romantic connection, maybe maybe this was your husband's best friend or your wife's best friend, or so. You don't, there's something here about this being some sort of like, especially with the devil at the bottom of the deck, some sort of taboo about this relationship, or like somebody would have not wanted you guys to be close, but you could have had the potential to be very, very close. I do see soulmate energy here. I see some sort of past life connection between you two, and it also represents something about childhood to me as well. So that's why I get this kind of energy about high school lovers. The reason why I'm going into such detail about setting this scene, because if this does not apply to you, if you don't understand who I'm talking about already, if you don't know kind of, if you don't feel like this is connecting so far, this is not your reading. Look at yesterday's, look at tomorrow's, but this one is not it for you today. This is a very, very specific reading about somebody who separated from somebody that they felt that there was a lot of potential with in their past. Okay, you had your dreams, they had their dreams. Maybe you wanted to play basketball and they wanted to go study. I don't know the exact specifics of the situation. I just know that you guys chose to live your lives differently. Somebody was motivated by love. Somebody could have been motivated by money. I'm not really sure. Okay, why is this significant? Because you haven't spoken to this person, seen this person, heard from this person, or anything about this person for a while. One of you has been keeping tabs on the other one, though. I will say that one of you has been keeping tabs on the other. One of you is more aware of what the other person has been up to than the other. So if you're not the one who's been like looking, lurking, occasionally dropping in, stopping in, popping by their IG, their Facebook page, then that's the other person. Okay? They've been keeping eyes on you in some capacity, in some way, shape, or form. Okay? I will say the person who was motivated by money, the person who went to college, the person who got a job right after high school, the person who was on their career path, their track, they're doing really well for themselves. Okay? And I feel like that is the person who is not the one who's minding their own business. Okay, I do feel like there's somebody became very successful in their own right. They don't have to be a celebrity, they don't have to be famous, it doesn't have to be all of that, right? Somebody became successful in their own right, and they have been keeping an eye on you just in case things ever opened up, just in case the doors ever swung open and they had an opportunity to get in there with you. Like I said, if this is friendship, then it is what it is. But I am leaning more towards romantic, just because it does look like nothing had ever really happened before, but there's interest now. Okay, especially if the way that you guys kind of parted ways was a little bit harsh, or there wasn't a lot of closure. This person, the masculine energy here represented by this emperor, is going to want to make it right. They're going to want to make some sort of apology or make some sort of truce, like, hey, I'm sorry for the way that I left things. Like, I know that we never really were on that level, but maybe there's something here, and we're both mature enough now, or old enough now, or grown enough now to finally get the opportunity to explore this. Because I am seeing it like that, very much so, and I can't wait to clarify, because then I'll be getting a lot more information. I do see that you're a little bit wary of this person, and if they have already reached out to you, which I do feel like they are going to reach out to you very strongly, this masculine energy is going to reach out to you through text message, Facebook message, some kind of quick message, right? An email, potentially, some kind of a quick communication. And it may not be like this in-depth apology at that time, but they want to open the door so that they can express themselves or explain themselves a little bit better. I do feel like this person was not willing to compromise with you. I see one of you wanting more than the other. Okay, so for example, like, let's say this is your best friend's spouse. Okay, and you always knew that there was no way that they were going to leave their spouse for you. But maybe you dropped hints. Maybe you were a little more flirtatious than you should have been. Now, I'm not saying this was the right thing to do. This is very taboo. Whatever this is very, very taboo. That's why you guys could not connect in the past, because there was something blocking you from each other. Even if it was just your own sense of integrity, because you know that your feelings were not healthy, or that you know that not that your feelings weren't healthy. Your feelings are just your feelings. The healthy, unhealthy, that's irrelevant at this point. Your intentions weren't bad, okay, but you knew that if you acted on your desires, it would be an issue. It was something that didn't align with your sense of integrity. Now, one of you wanted to push this further than the other person did. One of you was more invested in the situation than the other person, because the other person had some sort of commitment. And even if it was the person who didn't have the commitment, it was because they had some sort of loyalty or some sort of obligation outside of the relationship that was going to prevent them from moving forward with you. Like I said, once again, this is some sort of taboo. The reason why you're going quiet on them, or the reason why you haven't been worried about them, you haven't been thinking about them, is because you feel like the way they left, or the way they separated from you, or the way that they left things off was closure enough. Even if it took you a long time to get over it, you may not be responding to their message. You might be ghosting them. You might be like, you might be even watching this reading to ask yourself if you should respond. The only thing I can tell you right now is that this person has not let you go. This person has not stopped thinking about you. This person has not stopped checking up on you, watching you, talking to people about you. That's why there's so many people involved, is because they probably occasionally will ask people that y'all have in common, what is so-and-so up to? What is so-and-so doing? Especially if they don't have you on Facebook or something, or you have like a private profile, or if you're not active on socials and stuff, they're checking up on you through other people, through people that you guys have in common, because they just want to know what your deal is, what your story is, right? So maybe they heard, oh, they're single now, they're totally free, they're just living their life, they're doing their thing, and they decide to reach out, right? I think your initial instinct will be to ignore them, because there was a time where you presented an offer to them. You said, hey, I know this is a little bit shady, but maybe we can actually make something real out of this. And they were like, no, absolutely not. Or they chose their career over your relationship, or it's something like that, right? Where they felt like there was some other reason why they couldn't commit to you at that time. You honestly still hold some resentment about that. And so you're avoiding reconciling with this person because you feel as if they are going to abandon you in some way again, as if they're going to run away from you in some way again. I'm sorry if you guys hear this music going on and off. I'm having like speaker issues. I thought it would be so vibey and nice to play music in the background while I was reading, and obviously my speaker has other plans. My speaker has decided to just totally whatever. Back on topic, okay? I just feel like there's this connection that's totally undeniable between the two of you, okay? And there's a reason why you guys weren't able to connect. Whether you should or shouldn't connect, I don't know. I can just tell you right now that you're avoiding this reconciliation because so much time has passed, and you don't know if you feel the same, and you don't know if this is something that you would want, and you're also not sure if you can even trust this person. So let's get it on here and clarify. Page of Wands. Let's talk about the Page of Wands. Why is the Page of Wands here? We got the Queen of Pentacles. You feel like somebody sees you doing well. Somebody sees you doing well, looking good, feeling good in your own body, in your own energy, in your own spirit, right? And you think that it's like you are at a place of peace. I will say that, like, your wishes and your dreams have also come true, okay? So we have mature feminine earth sign energy with the Queen of Pentacles here. This is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. We also have the Star, Aquarius energy. We also have the Ten of Cups. That is complete emotional fulfillment, okay? You might be in another situation. You might not be single. You might be happily married. But also, you might just have other dreams for yourself than this person. You might have other desires for yourself than this person. You might be dreaming bigger than just this person. You might have felt like your whole world collapsed when this person was not willing to give you the level of commitment that you desired potentially at that time. But you've grown up, you've matured, and you've done well for yourself in your own right. Your money is straight, you're financially secure, you look great, you're feeling good in yourself, you're healthy, all of these wonderful things, right? And so it's almost like back then there was kind of maybe a codependency. Back then, maybe you really liked them or enjoyed them or wanted to be with them because of the validation that they gave you. But now you're a very secure, confident person. You have your own, and you don't necessarily need this person. With or without there being another person in your life, you're fine without this person. Your dreams have also come true, or you're working on making your personal dreams come true, okay? Also, something that just came to mind is decentering men. So if you're a heterosexual woman, you might even have decentered men to the point where you're not interested in romantic relationships with men. But it doesn't have to be gender specific. It's just about the energy. So if you're the feminine, you don't even have to be in a feminine body. You can be any person if that's the energy that aligns with you, right? Because I do feel like the masculine is the one who has the making up to do. I feel like the masculine energy here is the one that was more interested in money or more interested in other things. And it's almost like they treated you as if you weren't a priority, even though they played their role in this connection as well. They might have even led you on in some capacity or sold you a dream in some way, because they knew that whatever was keeping you from them, you wouldn't violate that. So it's almost like they made these promises or sold you these dreams in the hopes that you would never leave your situation, so that they would never have to make good on that. Okay, that's just my opinion, and I do see you. That well, it's not really my opinion; it's the message. But my opinion would be that this person has not moved on from you, because it's like they haven't grown up from that time. They're like emotionally like arrested in that kind of immaturity, especially if they're coming through as this Page of Cups right now. Like I said, the Page of Cups, Page of Pentacles, it's not necessarily about the signs, it's about the energy, right? I feel like this person's coming through now with this Page of Cups, and like, and for some reason I just feel like they're still stuck in the past. You are not. You are not stuck in the past. You're not still that person that you were when they rejected you or abandoned you or chose something else over you. You're not that person anymore. You're so much stronger than that. The Queen of Swords here represents mature air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, but more so than that, this is a logical person. This is the person who's not going to just take everything at face value. They're going to investigate. They're going to question. They're going to challenge. They're not just going to like hear your sweet talk and think, oh, wow, I can, this is somebody who's still stuck on like, oh, I used to be a quarterback. I used to be a star quarterback and I had all the cheerleaders. And this is that kind of masculine energy. Like, they are successful. They are mature. They have grown up. They in their own right. But when it comes to you, there's something that it's nostalgia. They don't even know you anymore. So we got to stop romanticizing this concept of people from the past coming back, because it's nostalgia. And then you have to ask yourself, how come this person hasn't been romantically successful? Like, what's going on in their lives? Or are they even emotionally available enough or emotionally mature enough to actually offer you anything different right now? Maybe they're coming back to you because they feel like you're still stuck there too, but you're not. You're not stuck in the past. This person doesn't want to let go of you. I don't think it's the other way around. You are still, what I feel is, harboring resentment about the way things were left between you two, but it's not that you're harboring resentment in the hopes that this person would come back to you, okay? Let's clarify the Emperor here. What is this person's intentions? Oh my gosh, this says the Hangman, and I literally read this as the changed man. When I looked at it, I know what the card is. I've seen this card 1,000 times, and I literally read it as the changed man. So they're going to come to you in the hopes that you recognize that they're a changed man, that they're different now. And y'all are coming out as counterparts, as partners. I will say that even if you don't feel the same way about them that you used to, intuitively you already know that this person might be a productive person to partner with. This might be somebody who shares your values as far as like where you want to go in life, but you still don't trust them. That's my thing. It's like, they share your values, you know what I'm saying? You instinctively know that this person is successful and they might be able to, help build an empire with you. But at the same time, we got the Strength card here. You almost feel like you would be silly to trust this person again. You almost feel like they would just be setting you up for another trap. Those are the fears and insecurities that come when somebody betrayed you in the past, or you felt betrayed by somebody else in the past, or manipulated or lied to, because it's like, if they would do it back then, what would be the difference between them doing it right now? Okay. Once again, this person doesn't really know who you are in this moment. And I think that would be the biggest thing. I'm not going to tell you to stay away from this person. I'm not going to tell you to indulge this person. But what I will say is, don't get so caught up in nostalgia and the way things used to be and how you used to see them, that you're not learning who this person is now. Because just as you have grown and matured and changed and evolved, this person has also as well. And also, don't let them put you on a pedestal from that person that you used to be, right? Because you're a different version of yourself now. I don't know how much time has passed, but I will say it's been significant enough for both of you guys to find success in your own right, to be able to create the lives that you desire. And honestly, it is a little bit more reassuring that this person can stand on their own 2 feet. It's like they don't need you. It's just, maybe you were the last person that they really felt connected to in a certain kind of way. I'm not really sure. 4 of Pentacles. But I will say that y'all are aligned in your values, your morals, your beliefs, the things that are important to you. Especially when it comes to making money, getting money. This would be a very synergistic partnership if you are focused on building your career right now. Because this person is also successful in that way, and they'll understand the sacrifices that you're making continue pushing yourself forward like that, because not everybody understands that. Like, if you're a very career focused person and you are with somebody who's very family focused, they're going to want you to stop your entire life so that you guys can get married and have kids. Your values don't align, right? This person is very career focused. You guys are coming out as the queen and king of pentacles. This could be very lucrative. So if your focus is not necessarily the love aspect of things, this could be a business arrangement with a little emotion involved. Do you know what I'm saying? That's not unrealistic. Marriage is a business arrangement. Marriage is a business contract, essentially. So if you don't have a partner who's pushing you forward and who's able to help you build on what you already have, then what is even the point anyway? At this point, that's how I see marriage. It's like, why would I ever get married if I didn't feel like that person was offering anything other than emotion? If I were to get married, it would be because we were choosing to build something together. And that could also be a family. You guys might also have the same family values, but I'm feeling very strongly with these pentacles here, pentacle, that you guys are very, very focused on making this money. I don't know if you guys are both content creators. You guys could both work in the same field. You guys could both work in finance or some aspect of that. You guys could both be traders. I don't really know, but it's like, whatever they know, whatever their expertise is in, it can complement what you're already doing and vice versa. We have the Eight of Wands clarifying the Four of Pentacles here. There will be movement forward. Somebody will be unstuck and somebody will become a little bit more open to this. But I understand. Oh, wow. Oh my goodness. It just keeps getting better and better. We got the Queen of Wands, the Four of Wands, and the Ace of Cups. You know what I'm talking about? I feel like once this person gets to know you a little bit better, and once you feel like their desire for you is not rooted in the past, that's when the emotion can start to be created. That's when you can start building a foundation that can be expanded upon. There will be communication between the two of you. I do feel like you have a soul connection that cannot be denied, that cannot be stopped. I do feel like you are harboring resentment from the past about how things happen, but allow this person to explain themselves. And if you don't like that explanation, if you don't like what they had to say, then walk away. If you feel like this person is not emotionally mature enough for you, then walk away. I do see that this is something that will grow and evolve over time. But if you are more so looking for a synergistic relationship where you can build on what you've already created and you're looking to create more material success, I will say that this person has the potential to be an incredible partner for that. All right. This is what I have for you guys. I hope that this was helpful and enlightening in some way. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll be with y'all next time.